Hi everyone, how's it going? Empress Justice here. Listen, I've done the daily readings, you can still check them out on Twitter, but I haven't uploaded onto Instagram and Facebook yet, and I will take care of that. Right now, I just want to get this out of the way. Um, this is his video, another technologically inept TI who can't get anything right. You all know who I'm talking about. This thing right here. So we're gonna get into this video real quick. Got quite a lot of time left, so I don't know if this is going to be the final part or if there's going to be a part 4, but again, 2 hours is the absolute maximum if I can possibly help it, so let's get started.
Prove that they have a fucking distance limit. Prove that it actually affects humans in a significant way, in the way that you're...
Again, there's directed energy weaponry being advertised online in Lockheed and in Raytheon. You could easily look these things up yourself, but you're not going to, because your entire modus operandi is to discredit targeted individuals, harass them into threatening behavior or violent behavior through repeated reactive abuse. And then when you get them riled up enough, or when you don't get what you want, you call the police on them. In one case, you called the police on somebody over your side of the pond and you got them fired from their job. That person said you sent a SWAT team round to their house. And then there's a second individual, Targeted Tony. You sent police round to his house too. You seem to have a real hard on for Targeted Tony. In fact, when I look at your page, you've got like 1 or 2 white TIs on there, but most of the TIs that I can see you harassing on your page, at least recently, have been people of color. And then your Shut Up Mum Bog Off channel, you've got racist language all over that shit. Blackie, Hurts, Harmless Goose. So you and your fans, you and the people who support you, they lie about you being racist, about you not being racist. They lie about you not being a stalker, because that's exactly what you are. You've done that to me, and you've done that to Tony, and you've done that to, I can't remember his name. Let me just look him up. Hang on. Night Tiger the Jedi. You got him fired from his job. You got him fired from his job, and you forced all these people into hiding. You forced all these people into making their videos private, all that type of shit, because that's what you do. You badger and harass people in order to either make sure they back down so that you can tell your friends that you vanquished you vanquished the TI folk with your with your incomparable intelligence and wisdom. You either back them into a corner where they have to make their videos private, or you try to harangue them into making threats against you. Like one of the two, but your tactics are always the same. You will always bug people with emails, bug people's profiles. I want an interview. 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 And you will do that until you get a reaction. Now, I don't know if this is the first time you've attacked a TI who's actually not American, but I just want to say right here and now, if you really want to play that game with me, you can call the police on me. Then I can sit there and watch the police try to explain how gang stalking isn't real, when once again, somebody that I've never met, and across the pond no less, who is armed, who has a history of stalking and harassing other people for his channel. I'm going to have to sit here and watch the police explain how gang stalking is not real, when you have literally evidence that it is real through your actions. You won't even look up a single website that talks about directed energy weapons. They're right there. You won't even look them up. But you will go out of your way to email and harass and stalk, comment under people's videos, go into people's emails saying, I want a voice interview, and yet you can't take 30 seconds on Google to look up DEWs. And all of that is evidenced. So I welcome you to call the police. I welcome you to cause an international incident over here. I welcome you to do that because I know how you narcissists work. You don't like being ignored. I've plugged my ears. I've blocked a lot of your accounts. You probably have a few more that you're going to harass me with. That's okay. Do your thing. If you want to do that, if that's the type of tactics you want to play at reactive abuse, like almost every other, well, not even almost, like every other person I've basically talked about in my channel, it is always the people that I barely fucking know or don't fucking know or have never fucking met who engage in behavior like this. Nobody else does this. Nobody that I know does this. My ex never fucking did it. My parents have never done this type of behavior. My sisters and brothers have never done it. My sister and brother, sorry, I got one sister and two brothers. So my sister and brothers have never engaged in this behavior. My cousins have never engaged in this behavior. My aunts have never engaged in this behavior. My uncles have never engaged in this behavior. People that I have been friends with have never engaged in this behavior in their lives. The only people who engage in constant reactive abuse, stalking, racism, sexism, the whole nine, that has always been people that I barely know. Let's put all this together, right? This person is saying that gang stalking isn't real. And yet let's look at the facts. Individual stalking exists. Somebody can have their home bugged. Somebody can be followed. Somebody can be relentlessly bugged online, like I've been by this person, like up until like what? Sunday? No, actually, yesterday I was bugged by this dude as well. So being relentlessly bugged online, relentlessly stalked online, being followed, having everything in my house and having all my technology tapped. So individual stalking exists. Okay. So dirty cops exist, and dirty cops paying off informants with different types of, incentives, that's real, right? Directed energy weapons are real. All you got to do is 30 seconds on Google. You just got to look on a website. Lockheed Martin, it's right there. Raytheon, it's right there. You can look up acoustic weapons, the voice of God technology, and non-invasive weapons. That shit is on Forbes for crying. It's in Forbes for crying out loud. It's in fucking Forbes. So all of these things are real. And of course, you've got the cell phone towers. Like the ridiculousness surrounding the information about cell phone towers just absolutely baffles me. And it absolutely blows my mind that people don't understand what's going on yet. So you've got the cell phone towers that definitely exist. We're about to move into 6G soon. So all of these things exist separate from each other, but they can't possibly. And then on top of that, Edward Snowden himself said, again, it's very easy to put someone on a watch list before they've had the chance to defend themselves. It's very easy to do, and it's very difficult to get people off that list. So all of these things can exist separately, but none of these things can exist at the same time. Have you ever heard anything so fucking boneheaded in your life? This guy can't even take 30 seconds to look at directed energy weaponry, and yet he's got all the time in the world to harass me. Do a voice interview. Prove it. You're dumb. You're dumb. Astrology is dumb. You've got all the energy in the world to do all that shit. But you've got all the energy in the world to stalk me. But you ain't got all the energy to fucking just 30 seconds on Google. DEWs. Raytheon. Lockheed. Very simple. BAE Systems. Look up their directed energy weaponry. That's all you have to do. All you have to do is 30 seconds and you're there. 30 seconds and you're there. We've got a defense systems company down here in Brighton, in fact, where I live. It's EDOMBM down here. We've even got a defense systems company down here. I bet you if I look online right now, I'd probably see some DEWs there. Like, My guy, what is this? That's why I said, you know what, you want to call the police on me, you want to do all the same tactics that you do to these other TIs, reactively abuse them into getting a reaction or into shutting down, and then you call the police on them. Call the police on me. I'll be looking forward to when the police get into my flat with their tail in between their fucking legs. And on top of that, I'm going to look forward to sitting in front of mental health and having them fumble about trying to avoid explaining to me where the reports came from. Because then they're going to have to explain why they're taking seriously the word of somebody half a world away who does not know me. Remember, people who know me, it's on my medical records. People who know me vouch for me. People who love me vouch for me. Do you understand? People who know and love me, in fact, whether they're perps or not, there are people who know me who will vouch for me. It's always the motherfuckers I barely know who are trying some shit who always end up reporting me or end up doing stuff that they're not supposed to be doing because they know they've been reactively abusing me and trying to get away with it. So go ahead, do what you normally do. Call the police on me. You are all the way in where? Minnesota? You're fucking armed? You got a history of stalking people? I've got all that evidence. All I have to do, sit in front of mental health, show them all this shit. Watch them fumble about trying to say, but how do you feel? No, let's have a discussion about what's right in front of the fucking table. I bet you any money, they won't have a word to say because that's going to be proof once and for all that I ain't making this shit up. And you've done it to other TIs. You've done it to other TIs. And the wonderful thing about blocking is that we can still have access to one another's videos. We just can't comment on one another's videos. So I can show you them exactly what you've been doing. You see, the thing about me, I've taken down some videos in the past, it's true. Because, I've said some really dumb stuff. But for the most part, if there's anything that incriminates me, 9 times out of 10, I leave it up. And I do it for a reason. Because you will see when all the evidence is in front of you, the people that always cause me the most stress and aggravation have always been people that I barely know or hardly know. And they always engage in the same tactics. Reactive abuse, badgering you to get a reaction. And then when they get a reaction or you shut down, they'll try to call the police to make the situation seem worse than it is. I have always had mental health come over or mental health make an attempt to come over. Not during my breakdown, but after my breakdown. When I'm recovering, when I'm getting better, when I'm in the transition period between my breakdown and between recovering. That is when mental health always steps in. And now that everything's calm and, there's something happening with that family, but I don't want to say anything for sure until I find out. Now that everything's in a transition period at the minute, here come you with the bullshit. This is not by accident. In fact, it sounds to me like some 77th Brigade shit. That's also real. You can also look that up. So all of these things exist separately, but for some reason, when the time comes to amalgamate them, suddenly that's the stuff of legend. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Let's continue with the video. Sorry. Let me just go back. Yep.
Gigantic leap. Prove that these weapons exist. Prove that they have a fucking distance limit. Prove that it actually affects humans in a significant way in the way that you're describing. Prove it.
So basically, again, you're not looking at these websites. They will tell you almost everything you need to know about the distance range and all that type of shit. You're not bothering to look it up. And yet you're talking about distance levels. You're talking about really specific things that no so-called normie should know. I don't care if you have a morbid curiosity with TRs. You should not know this. I don't care if you study science either. Again, you're talking about, talk about the distance of these weapons. Like, do you know something we don't? I know you know science and biology and all the rest of it, but it just seems really, really suspect that you're going to be talking about this stuff and yet you claim these weapons don't exist. Like, get the fuck out of here. Just get the fuck out of here. Website and find information on directed energy weaponry. The only thing they don't tell you is how they...
Because if these do exist, we haven't used them in war yet. Which war did we use?
If they exist... Hang on. Watch this.
Them in. Where has it been established that we've used these supposed directed energy weapons against other countries? So we develop these weapons, Lockheed Martin develops these weapons and then uses them for what? To keep citizens in check? What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. I mean, acoustic weaponry is used for crowd control during demonstrations, aren't they? Again, all of this is public information. This is not new. Perp. He's a perp. I will die on this hill. He's a perp. And a racist psychopath. I will die on this hill. He's full of shit.
You think we'd at least test them on the enemy first? You fucking people.
What sense does that make? What sense does that make to not only experiment only on the enemy first, but to experiment only on important enemies? Like, what sense does that make exactly? You've got poor or mentally ill people right there who can be discredited in a heartbeat, and yet you're going to waste your time going after people with a lot of influence that a lot of people are likely to listen to. You're only going to waste your time with influential enemies who could take you down either way anyway, who stand a chance to take you down either way no matter what happens to them. Like, that makes no fucking sense. It makes more fucking sense to me to test on the poor, keep it under wraps, and say, look, these weapons work, let us show you what they can do. That makes more sense to me. The trafficking angle of all of this makes more sense to me. Way more sense. Good grief. This man is just, again, he's a perp. That's another narc tactic. They act like they don't understand what you're saying. They act like what you're saying is gobbledygook. I've been around this type of tactic many a time. People I've sat in front of, they know what I'm talking about, but they pretend like they don't, and they act like I'm saying something that doesn't make sense. And the way they've written it in the medical records, for example, I talked about how a Romanian family have been spying on me through their laptop because they had been when I was living in supported housing back there. The way they wrote it was it just baffles me the way they wrote it. And it seems like they wrote it deliberately to do two things: to make me look suspect and to make me look like I was losing my fucking marbles. Because that's how they write. They write in shorthand, but the shorthand that they write, they make sure to write it in the most deranged ways possible so that you look deranged. That's the whole point of a narcissist acting like they don't know what you're talking about. It's weaponized incompetence. This guy knows exactly what we're saying because he's a perp, but he's pretending not to.
People, you're so suspicious of other humans on the planet.
No. I just don't like racist psychopaths. Well, you're not a psychopath. You're too in your feelings to be a psychopath. I just don't like malignant narcissists who are racist, sexist pieces of garbage. In fact, I don't like malignant narcissists in general. They make my ass itch. That's who we don't like. That's who we're suspicious of.
Don't even trust your own people you live with. You don't even, where's the limit?
What kind of idiot trusts everyone? Even without gang stalking, what kind of moron fully trusts people? Good grief.
Let me fucking talk to you. I want to ask you the limits. Do you trust agriculture? Do you trust the farmers that...
What are you talking about? What? So now again, he's going off on a tangent about absolutely nothing. Like this is exhausting, bro.
Grow your food? Do you go to farmers markets? Do you go to the store? Why do you trust the store then?
What are you talking about? It's not a matter of trust. We're hungry. The fuck you talking about? We're hungry. We need to eat. That's why we go to the store. We go to the store to buy food, to eat, to buy fucking, cleaning products to clean. We don't go there because we trust them. We don't go there because we trust them. We go there because we need to fucking eat. Needs must, bro. We don't trust a lot of the corporations. A lot of the public don't trust a lot of the corporations and a lot of our government. But hear what? A lot of people are too tired from fucking working all day. Well, not me, but, a lot of people are too tired from fucking working all day, looking after their children, having to get their home life sorted out. A lot of people are too busy to think about fighting the man. They've got to survive. So, of course, they're going to fucking go to the supermarket or go to farmers markets to get their food, get their groceries or whatever. That's not a matter of trust. It's just a matter of, listen, I'm tired. This is what I need to do for my convenience right now. That's what it's a matter of. You're talking shit.
Why do they even need weapons when they could just fucking drop bad shit in food and kill you that way?
What makes you think they're not doing that? There's something called I think it's RDNA. Foods? I'm going to look that up. RDNA. Foods. RDNA products are products that have been genetically engineered for a desired purpose. Now, there was a TikTok video that said that this was being used to, this was being used for more nefarious purposes. I'm not going to say what they are. But RDNA technology, there's all types of warfare. There's biological warfare, which is like stuff like, anthrax is chemical warfare. There's biological warfare. Let me have a look at that. There's all kinds of different types of warfare. Yeah, so, bacteria, virus, fungi, toxins, to kill or incapacitate humans, animals, or plants in an act of war. So you've got biological warfare, you've got chemical warfare, you've got oncological warfare, which is either the warfare using insects. I think it's warfare using insects. So you've got ecological warfare. What's it called? Okay, insect warfare. Let me just check that out and see what the name is. Insect warfare. Where they using insects to, I think it's oncological warfare. Ontological warfare. Let's see. Yeah, ontological weapon. That's it. Oh no, that's something else. Where did I see that where the fuck did I oh my gosh. When did I see the insect warfare? I don't know. But there's biological warfare, there's chemical warfare, there's agricultural warfare. There was this one Wikipedia page that I saw that talked about insects. I'm trying to find it. There's one part that talked about insects being used, like being filled with a certain chemical to destroy crops or something like that. So there's all different types of warfare. The first thing is it depends on the circumstances. And the second thing is, I'm going to be absolutely honest. If you're trying to eliminate as many threats as possible, wouldn't it make sense to cover all your bases? Because the same weapons are not going to have the same effects on everybody. We're all different. We're all different. Okay? So, chemical weaponry is not going to affect people. Chemical weaponry is fucking dangerous. But there's no guarantee that the different types of warfare that are out there are going to affect everybody in the same way. If you're a defense company that wants to ensure this is working, or if you're a government that wants to ensure that specific threats are taken care of in a way that won't come back to them, then you've got to cover all your bases. You can't just have food or electronic weaponry or people on the ground. You've got to have all your ducks in a row when it comes to warfare. You've got to have all your resources being used as and when in order to have it work on the right people. Warfare doesn't work like that. It doesn't work where you do one thing and suddenly by some miracle you get exactly what you want. This is war. That's what these weapons are being designed for. War. What the fuck makes you think that if you just do one thing, it will just get rid of everybody? What the fuck makes you think that? They don't even have one singular division in the army. They have lots of different divisions. They have land, they have sea, they have different divisions doing different things. It's the same with the weaponry. They have different weapons to do different things. But again, classic Nart tactic. He's acting like he doesn't know what we're talking about. He's acting like all of this is outlandish when it ain't. It's not outlandish at all.
What's with you fucking retards?
Sure and certain. What is with you calling everybody a retard when you're... I don't even want to use that word because I say ableist as fuck. But when you're literally the stupidest person... You're literally the stupidest person here. Why are you calling everybody else stupid? Seems to me like you've got a bit of a chip on your shoulder about people who are not as, probably not as educated as you in the fields that you're in, knowing more about shit than you do. Seems like you have a real chip on your shoulder about that. And it seems like you have a real chip on your shoulder about people who won't co-sign your bullshit. But again, malignant narcissist, why wouldn't you? Why? That their machines work. That's the only thing they don't tell you. But the way they make sure that their weapons work is the same way they make sure anything else works, through testing. Right. So do you seriously think they're going to spend potentially billions of dollars creating these weapons and they're not going to fucking test it on citizens? If they're prepared to test mortar on citizens... I'm not answering this. If they're prepared to test mortar on citizens, right? Hang on. Okay, so if they're prepared to test mortar on citizens, right? Then...
When?
They're definitely going to be able to, or willing to test directed energy. Let's be real, all right? So, I know that they're testing directed energy weaponry and frequency weaponry on people because, of course, they've been testing it on me. They've been testing it on people globally. Me talking about mortar being tested on civilians, that's by pure conjecture on my part. Because the thing is, I've seen documentaries where citizens have been fired on, or citizens have been bombed, or citizens have gone missing in war-torn countries. And I'm putting together that if they can experiment with directed energy weaponry on citizens, then they can certainly experiment with bombs and with bullets on a civilian population. So this is purely conjecture. I'm going into conjecture here. So let's continue. Energy weaponry, microwave weaponry, and sonar weaponry on TIs. It makes fucking sense. And also, EDO MBM had, I think they signed a contract with someone. I can't remember. I'm going to have to look it up. So EDO MBM deal, right? So war crimes. They've been linked to suspected war crimes. So just an arms factory here has been linked to suspected war crimes. So EDO MBM technology, they've been linked to suspected war crimes, a destroyed factory in Yemen, I'm sorry, but if I had to put two and two together, that's fucking testing, mate. That's got to be testing. Because there's not, 9 times out of 10, it's not always that these people are defeating enemies. They need a way to test their weapons to ensure those weapons work. And if they have to test on people, they're going to test on people. I'm just putting two and two together, because the thing is, if they're experimenting directed energy weapons on me, and they're doing it to plenty of other people that I know, if they're willing to do that, then they're going to be testing out shells and mortar. They are going to be doing that. But once again, it's conjecture on my part. That's complete conjecture. I'm not even going to lie. Like, even just putting motor, two and two together rather than... Wait a minute. Motor. Let me look up. Mortar. No, it's motor. Is it motor? Bullets. I think bullets are called mortar as well. Yeah, bullets, mortar. Yeah, it's a mortar bullet, you see? A mortar is a type of bullet. It's an artillery weapon that fires explosive shells. So yeah, mortar. It's not motor, it's mortar. You're carrying a gun around, you should know that. You should know at least something about guns. I don't know why you're carrying it around. You don't know about other types of weapons being used. Yeah, okay, I'm being paid, but that's a big pay. Yeah, I'm being paid. The decades of research that several whistleblowers of MI5, CIA, FBI have put together, it would still be common fucking sense that you would test the weapons out before you sold them to the countries that you want.
She has no idea what she's talking about.
Then stop watching me. What the fuck is wrong with these people and breasts? Erica, we're getting you, huh? Baby, I wouldn't bet on that. I wouldn't bet on that. I wouldn't bet on that, mate. I'm sick of seeing her tits flopping out. Well, watch something else. Like, again, it's just bare malignant narcissists, racists, and like pussy ass wet rags on his page. Like, just watch something else. You don't have to see tits flopping out. Go back to the fake tits that you used to. You know what? No,
right now,
I'm not gonna disrespect. I'm not gonna continue to disrespect other women on the count of these people. I'm not doing that anymore. Fuck all that.
Just making everything up right now.
You want to sell them to? Well, yeah, it's conjecture. It's conjecture. It's not necessarily making stuff up, but it's making an assessment based on my own experiences, which may or may not be true. But you've made stuff up, but you're making stuff up yourself. Again, it's 30 seconds. You can just look on directed energy weaponry right now, and instead you're sitting there talking about, what about what? Just look it up. You'll get all the information you need from the websites, and you still ain't looked it up. You spent the last fucking half an hour talking shit. You ain't looked up. Like, stop it. Just stop it. It'll still be common sense. There's a wealth of information online that can tell you all of...
Hey, lady, do you have a certain drawing, print, drawing, blueprint, any...
to the countries that you want?
She has no idea what she's talking about right now. She has no...
Well, I'm not being funny, but TIs aren't going to be... Again, common sense. I'm not a weapons expert. The only reason why I know about this is because other people have shared their experiences. I've done some research of my own, but I'm not a defense expert. I'm not an engineering expert. The only thing I know is what I've experienced, the evidence that I have, the way people have behaved around me. The only thing I have is the evidence that I've got combined with some research of my own. Now, there are some people who are technologically proficient. Like I said, I ain't one of them. You said it yourself. I ain't one of them. So this is another narcissistic tactic. And I think I've actually mentioned this before. If you get something wrong, or if you're engaging in conjecture, that means you're lying, and that means you're dumb. Exaggerate. Just exaggerate everything.
Fucking clue. She's just making everything up right now.
You want to? No, you make shit up. You've been making shit. You lie like you breathe. You've been making shit up. It would still be common sense. There's a wealth of information online that can tell you all of.
Hey, lady, do you have a certain drawing? Print?
Why should I have a blueprint? I'm not firing weapons on my fucking self. Why should I have a blueprint for you? I don't mind looking for blueprints, but like, again, you're just plucking shit out of your ass. You're plucking it out of your ass. I literally have burns on my body. I have burns on my body. I have evidence of corruption in my medical records right now. And I've been busting that shit out. So what the fuck are you talking about right now? And again, people have been diagnosing people as being delusional. You know, where are the brain scans? Do you even know what part of the body? Okay, if you want to talk about blueprints for the electronic weaponry and for the microwave weaponry, if you want to talk about fucking blueprints, which has nothing to do with anything, when Lockheed Martin, BAE Systems, and Raytheon literally admitted on their page that they had DEWs, right? You really want to talk about blueprints? Let's talk about you talking about delusion. What you studied biology, what part of the brain do these delusions come from? What parts of the brains are damaged in order to cause these delusions? And what kind of trauma would be necessary to cause these delusions to come about? Now I'm going to ask you a question. And unlike me, who is not a weapons expert, who has had a lot of help from other TIs who are experts in engineering, not in weaponry, but in engineering and in IT, unlike me, right? You are actually studied in biology. So please explain to me what parts of the brain are damaged in order to cause the type of delusions that would make you think the government is after you. Please let me know. Is there a CAT scan anywhere, or like, are there any formal studies showing the parts of the brain that will cause schizophrenia, that will cause, and if so, where did this brain damage come from? And don't give me any bullshit about genetics, because genetics alone aren't going to guarantee that you have the same illnesses that your mother or father have. It's not going to guarantee that. So don't give me that bullshit about genetics either. If you're studied in biology, where is your information about the parts of the brain that are damaged? I know that more than you do. I don't even study biology.
Drawing, blueprint, anything to prove anything that you're saying right now that these weapons.
You could go again. Website, 30 seconds. Boom. He's actually talking shit.
Weapons exist. Do you have any evidence at all that?
What are you talking about? Lockheed tell you these weapons exist. I can't with this. I can't with this. He's wasting everybody's time. And he's like, God, he's a piece of shit. He really is.
These have actually been used on people? Come on. Bring something.
How our nerves are controlled through the technology we use. How, like. This is the thing with me. I read about things. I read about it in bit parts. And what I try to do is I try to put them all together and try to make sense of it in my brain. Now, this has always been my Achilles heel, right? I'm not as articulate as people think I am. And I'll tell you why. Because the thing is, I know a lot more than I am able to effectively communicate. And it's been like that since I was a young age. I've always known a lot more than I was able to put into words. It has always been like that. I'm articulate, don't get me wrong, I can talk. But getting to the point of what I know, remembering facts, my memory is bad as well because, again, I've got Havana syndrome. My concentration's all fucked up because of the amount of weapons that have been fired on my head. So there's that as well. So a lot of what I say tends to come out garbled. But again, this guy's using it to say that gang stalking isn't real. He's just making a Mr. Fantastic stretch right now. He needs to be careful not to break his arm.
I remember watching Whale Wars, and the Japanese ships out at sea were using LRAD against the Whale Wars. LRAD is, I think that's pretty known technology, isn't it? Where it just emits like a loud, annoying sound that hurts your ears.
Mm-hmm.
There's a defense against it called earplugs. It doesn't actually physically fuck you up. It's really annoying.
Actually, that's not true at all. I demonstrated in the tarot book, in one of my last videos, I think it was the second video, I demonstrated that, in which sound absolutely can be used to fuck you up. It's just like over a longer period of time, and it has to be more intensified and concentrated. Over a long period of time, certain sounds do deteriorate your body. Like, that's been absolutely proven. Now, yeah, there's also something called there's 440 hertz, which is the standard frequency, and then there's 432 hertz. Yeah, so yeah, so 440 hertz versus 432 hertz. The story goes that 440 hertz is more harmful than 432 hertz. 432 hertz is apparently more attuned with nature than 440 hertz is. 440 hertz is slightly outside it, which means it can still cause some amount of damage to the body. But just because sound takes longer to work, it doesn't mean it can't fuck you up. Just because something is slow acting, it doesn't mean it can't fuck you up. If you can cuss out a plant and have that plant rot faster than a plant that's not being cussed out, please trust and believe that's an effect of how sound absolutely can ruin and wreck your body. It can. It can. People who have gone through a lot of abuse, they tend to deteriorate faster. This has been proven. Verbal abuse, like just something as simple as verbal abuse, can destroy your body because of this, because of the repeated stress flooding through your body. Like just somebody being cussed out, let alone that type of shit that you're talking about with that weapon. Imagine that sustained over a few weeks. Imagine the damage it would do to the body then. So yes, sound absolutely can fuck you up. It's just a matter of intensity and duration. It's a matter of pushing the body past its endurance. That's what it's about, and how long you do that for.
But I know that's citizens using it. But what? Where's this microwave shit? I don't.
Again, look online. It's not difficult. People have been making it from home. The fuck you talking about?
I don't see anybody using it. I haven't seen it used.
What do you mean you don't see anybody using it? So because you don't see anybody using it, it doesn't exist? Good grief. This is amateurish.
War.
Needs me to tell them anything, really and truly. They can look it up themselves. Right. So all of this stuff that they're doing is just, how do you say that you're... All of this is to discredit TIs. But how do you say that it's real and then try to take it back and say that it's not? And then you're...
See, she's fucking instantly... Because there's a similar name between me and some other person she's talking about, she instantly connects the two and says, I'm him, period. Yeah, period. I will die on this hill. And you know why? Not only because of the similar language that you've used and the similar username that you've used. This is the thing, my guy, you're not smart. So the websites that are not Nerve Gorilla, they've got all kinds of racist fucking titles in it. And then on top of that, you've called me Aunt Jemima. You talked about my banana titties. And then you've also talked about how I'd better wear the hoops, otherwise I might wear them around my ankles, something like that. So you've always made some racist ass jokes and then tried to pass them off as nothing. Because again, malignant narcissist, that's what you do. So, yeah, it's you.
I will die on this hill. It's you. I don't care what happens to me. I don't care if there's a cease and desist. I don't care. It's you. I don't give a damn. Like this is one of the few times where I could give a fuck if I have so-called lack of evidence that it's you or not. This is one of the times where I don't actually care. It's you. Because you've got form of reactively abusing people into a corner and then calling the police on them when you don't get what you want. Do you know the kind of people who do that? Perps.
Period. I'm him, right? She doesn't even second guess herself. She just makes, like these TIs do all the time, make shit up and stick with it. What the fuck?
Yep, I'm sticking with it.
Fuck.
How do you... Then why are you so upset? Yeah, I'm sticking with it, mate. Because your behavior doesn't tell me that you're not one of these perps. It doesn't tell me that. Say that it's real and...
Unlike you guys, I don't talk out of both sides of my mouth. Yeah, I'm fucking consistent. Oh, Jesus.
Consistent with what? You make racist jokes and then you say you're not racist. You fucking try to talk about how these weapons are not real when you can literally look on Google like for 30 seconds and see that they are real. It's like, listen, right now, let's go. Lockheed Martin, DEWs. See, right there, like directed energy, Lockheed Martin. New age threats require new age defenses. So it says here, for 40 years, Lockheed Martin has researched, designed, developed, and captured electromagnetic energy and elevated its power to create innovative directed energy solutions. 40 years! Let's continue. We have developed laser weapon systems, radio frequency, and other directed energy technologies for air, ground, and sea platforms to provide an affordable countermeasure alternative. We are addressing critical needs such as accuracy, mobility, size, weight, and power swap, cooling, and minimal collateral damage. That's Lockheed Martin. I looked that up, 30 seconds, boom, found it. Probably less than that. Raytheon. Directed energy. All right, high energy lasers. Oh, look at that, a high power microwave system. Oh my goodness, oh. Let's have a look at that. All right, phaser high power microwave system. Now this is a high power version, so it's pretty fucking big, right? Let me just see. So this is Raytheon Missiles and Defense. And we've got defending at the speed of light. The phaser high power microwave system uses directed energy to down drones, single, one, or swarms at the speed of light. Operators focus a wide arching energy beam on drones that send out a short high power burst of electromagnetic energy, destroying their electronics and dropping them simultaneously from the sky. So this is like, these are like the bougie versions of it. Let's have a look at BAE Systems directed energy. Directed energy atmosphere lens could revolutionize. Let's see. All right. Directed energy atmospheric lens could revolutionize future battlefields. At the same time, the lens could be used as a form of deflector shield to protect friendly aircraft, ships, and land vehicles and troops from incoming attacks from laser weapons that could become a reality in the same time period. I did not know about this part. I didn't know about the defense part. Yeah, I didn't know that. Okay, let's just have a look at homemade microwave weapons used. That's if Google will let me. You got YouTube on how to make a microwave gun, my guy. That's you got YouTube videos on how to make a microwave gun. It's literally on YouTube, and he's saying they don't exist. Oh my gosh! Oh, again, this did not take me long. It really didn't take me long to find it. It didn't take me long to find any of this shit. I swear to God, 5 minutes tops. Good grief, man. All of this is to discredit TIs. But how do you say that it's real and then try to take it back and say that it's not? And then you're going to go after the same person that you have threatened and you have made, like, how are you going to do that? And if he's really harassing you, trust and believe, right? Sorry, my phone was doing some other stuff. How do you try to rationalize that this man's harassing you when you've got thousands of followers and you're making videos discrediting him? Where are the police? At least with Tony, he called the police. He tried to get every conceivable help that he could get.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. As a TI, I guarantee you there is no way a TI goes through this shit and they don't call the police. I've been a TI, or I've been aware of my targeting since my early 20s. There are people who have been targeted all their lives. There is no way that you will come across a TI who hasn't called the police at some point, hasn't called emergency services at some point about their targeting. You are talking shit. Yes, he fucking has. Don't try it.
What are you talking about, lady? Tony made a video showing that he downloaded the browser Brave in his phone, in his iOS phone. He tried to use a different browser, and I commend him for that. That's good. Brave is not quite Firefox, but it is a step up from Safari, which is what he was using. But the problem is that he clicked a link in his email and it didn't open up in Brave correctly. And he made a video about it, and he immediately fucking came to the conclusion that that's gang stalkers fucking with his phone.
But gang stalkers could have been fucking with this phone. This is exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about gaslighting again. What sense would it make for us to go through all of this and to have nobody hacking our shit or messing with our shit? What sense does that make?
I looked up that exact problem. I found other people that had the same problem, and they rebooted their phone and it was fine.
All right, that's fine. But the thing is, this is what I'm talking about when I talk about making people hypervigilant. Sometimes your phone can get hacked into. I've had my phone hacked into before. Sometimes your phone isn't hacked into and it could be a genuine technological problem. That happens as well. The two are not mutually exclusive. Both things can happen at once. Again, the point is to render the TI hypervigilant so that they will suspect everything and everyone. And by the way, most TIs do not suspect everything and everyone, especially when they're like me and they've been aware of their targeting for years. Like baby TIs pull crap like that. We don't pull crap like that. We make sure first, because the thing is we know we're being gaslit. So we have to make sure.
I don't know what Tony did. I haven't heard him say anything about it since. Maybe Tony rebooted his phone and then it fixed it, and he never came out and apologized and said, shit, I was wrong.
Apologizing to who? Did he accuse you of hacking his phone? Did he accuse you of doing that? You know, if he didn't accuse you of doing that, then what does he need to come out and apologize for? All he needed to say was, I think I got that wrong, or I think, you know, maybe like I fucked up on that or what have you. But there's no need for an apology if he hasn't as specifically accused anyone specific of hacking his phone. No, he does not need to apologize.
Wrong about that. He never came out. They never do.
They never do. And yet I came out in one of my videos when you were talking about the links, the comment links that weren't working. and I said point blank, you were right. Huh? TIs never admit they're wrong. I admit that I'm wrong all the time. We've got 677 videos of me proving that I admit when I'm wrong. I mean, I'm just saying, darling, you seem to be making a lot of hot air out of nothing. Nothing. He's saying nothing. He's saying absolutely nothing the whole time.
Oh, I can't trust your assertions and I can't trust your assessments.
I don't care. I don't care whether you trust my assessments or assertions or not. Do you seriously think I'm going to give a fuck about a racist stalker who goes around committing reactive abuse against people? Do you really think I'm going to give a shit what you think of my judgments? I don't care. I don't give a fuck.
Of anything, you guys are totally unreliable people.
You're totally unreliable. You're completely unreliable. Again, everything that you accuse other people of doing, you do yourself. Before he started talking shit, and you're saying that Tony's got a vendetta against you. Who's you? Who are you? And why would he have a vendetta against you?
I never said the word vendetta. I don't know if she's talking about me, but
the word, another narcissistic tactic. I never said that word. They always want to use petty details in order to derail the conversation or take away from the subject matter. I never used, bro, shut up. You know exactly what you said. You said Tony was, you basically tried to make out like Tony was obsessed with you when given your behavior towards me, given how you treated me, I know damn well that ain't the case, bro. You lie like you fucking breathe. Stop it.
I don't care if I'm liked or not by targeted individuals. I'm just trying to...
Yeah, but then why are you coming after us? Why are you bothering us? Leave us alone. Simple.
Fucking correct the record here. They come to my internet and fucking mislead people.
It's not your internet. You don't own the internet. There are people in this world who are far more proficient, far more skilled at hacking and at maneuvering a computer than you are. I know this for a fact. There are always going to be people better than you at what you do. It doesn't matter who you are as a person or what you're skilled in. There's always going to be somebody better than you. You are fucking amateurish at best. I don't even know computers like that. But I know that there are plenty of people right here on YouTube already who are more skilled than you are. You being non-conformist does not suddenly make you more skilled than anyone else. I'm sorry, but it doesn't. Okay? So, it's not your internet. It doesn't belong to you. Again, that malignant narcissism that's playing games with your mind. It's not your internet. It was never your internet. You're not on fucking, Zuckerberg's level or Zuckerberg's level in terms of reach. You're not even on his level of reach, let alone a Bill Gates, let alone an Elon Musk, let alone, a John McAfee. You're not even on John McAfee's level. How are you going to come online and talk about your internet, bro? There are people with more subscribers than you easily. How is this your internet? Please stop it. You see, these racist white supremacists gun carriers, they think the whole world is theirs by the virtue of them being white and having a dong. My God, this world don't belong to you. It never has belonged to you. It's not yours. It was never yours. And that's the same with this internet shit. Malignant narcissists think everything is theirs. Everything you come onto my internet. Who are you? Who are you? Good grief. Come onto my internet. Somebody is fucking that. I just want to reiterate that somebody is fucking that right now.
And try to scare them, thinking such a scary...
I'm not trying to scare... Okay. Who am I trying to scare apart from the people who are reactively abusing me? Who? What do I get out of saying all these things, you know, to the general public, knowing that it probably get me sectioned? It's already gotten me sectioned once. So what am I getting out of being sectioned or out of being on meds that completely destroy my body and completely wreck my fucking metabolism? Like, what am I getting out of this? What does any human being, I don't care how irrational, psychotic, or fucking fucked up they are, I don't give a fuck, what are they getting out of this? There are so many easier ways to get attention, easier ways that are less humiliating, that will make you less vulnerable than saying you're a TI. I don't even have that many subscribers in comparison to a lot of other TIs. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, sir? Let me drop the sir. Bitch, what the fuck are you talking about?
Place when it fucking isn't at all. It's actually awesome if you know how to fucking use it. But
nobody talked about the internet being a hostile place. The world is a fucked up place. The world is a fucked up place, been fucked up, will continue to be fucked up because every single human being on this planet is on their line of least resistance, myself included. So things that should get done don't get done, and evil people find a place in the world. And not only do they find a place in the world, they find a place at the top. This world is fucked up. It's not about the internet being an awesome place. I know that's your fucking mothership, but you don't own shares in it, bruh. You don't, okay? There's nothing wrong with the internet. I'm one of the few people, you know, a lot of people talk about how the internet sucks and, you know, oh, it's the internet. Oh, it's the internet. You know, you got cowards on the internet. You had cowards in real life. It's just that internet gives disabled people, you know, that's the good thing about it. The internet gives disabled people more of a platform to operate from, less able-bodied people, but at the same time, on the downside, it gives people with antisocial personality disorders a voice as well. Case in point, Nerve Gorilla. So the internet is not just some big scary place. We've never said that. Once again, you're talking out of your arse and you're using hyperbole.
they come to my internet and fucking mislead people and try to scare them thinking it's such a scary fucking place when it fucking isn't at all. It's actually awesome if you know how to fucking use it. But you guys don't. You guys wake up and instant.
Yeah, but you make it scary. People like you make it scary. You're racist. You're sexist. Talking about people's body parts that have got nothing to do with you. And, you know, stalking and harassing people into voice interviews in order to give yourself some sort of imagined legitimacy, and then talking down to people who you don't know, whose life stories you know nothing about, downloading their videos, trying to engage in reactive abuse to get a reaction. It's pathetic, honestly. It's pathetic, and it's people like you. If the internet is a hostile place, then people like you are responsible for it. It just seems like you're not content until everybody else is as miserable as you are. And that is what makes the internet a really bad place to live in. It's not targeted individuals, because I've gone into some TI's pages, and, you know, there are times where TIs don't always talk about their pain. There are times when they talk about uplifting stuff or like simply silly stuff, you know. And, you know, TIs still have fun. They, you know, some of them are photographers, some of them are artists. You know, it's not just engineers and computer wizards. You've got people who are interested in all kinds of different shit. You've got TIs who are gamers. You've got TIs who are like musicians. You've got TIs who... And again, there are TIs who have partners and who have families. There are so many people, you know, within the TI community. You know, not all of them are great. I mean, you know, it's like real life. It's like any group of people. Like, you get people who are fucked up and crazy, like in any community. But, you know, the world of TIs, when you find the right ones, they're some of the kindest, you know, most uplifting people you could ever talk to. And if it wasn't for this pain, you kind of wonder, you know, the potential of the life they could have lived if they weren't going through this. So yeah, TIs don't just come online talking about their pain. I certainly don't. There are times where I come online and I do a daily update. Nobody's been bothering me. Nobody's been harassing me. So I talk about how beautiful the weather is. I mean, you know what I mean? So TIs are not all doom and gloom all the time. We're not. We try to find little pockets of joy. And that's something that I think we're better at than people like this are. This man is not happy. Happy people don't carry on like this. They don't talk about flapjacks and breasts and shit. And, you know, trying to act like they're not turned on or whatever. Like, again, if you need to see breasts, just watch a porno, relax. And my breasts don't belong to you. You know, my breasts don't belong to anybody. They don't, you know, I'm going to flop them out. You know, make it do their little thing. You know, my breasts don't belong to anybody. My mouth does not belong to a malignant narcissist. Nothing belongs to malignant narcissists. It's people like you that make the world and the internet a hostile place to live in. It's people like you that ruin things. It's people like you that destroy the world. Truth be told, it's people like you that we'd be better off not having here. And I don't feel guilty for saying that because you're miserable.
Look to be a victim. The first thing you wake up, come on, how can I be a victim today? What the fuck?
That is not true at all. That's not true at all. I can't be a victim and a perpetrator. You're going to have to pick one. I can't be, you know, somebody who's like, oh, poor me, I'm suffering, and then just terrorize people. Like, I can't be both. You're going to have to pick one, you know, and I basically am a victim. I'm a torture victim. I'm a trafficking victim because I'm being, you know, burnt to shit and tracked and stalked and harassed and surveyed against my fucking will. So yes, I am a victim. I'm glad you noticed, you know. But the thing is, people like you who talk about people being victims, you're the same ones that when we start doing what you do and we start realizing our power and we start arming up and we start getting people together and we start, like, in fact, let targeted Tony threaten you. You will call him all kinds of criminals. You will call him all types of degenerate. If we were to behave like you would come out the side of your neck talking about how all of us are animals and degenerates and all the rest of it. So don't give me that. Don't give me that.
Is this shit? I don't wake up thinking I'm a victim. I wake up looking for awesome shit to do.
No. You wake up thinking about how you can gas yourself up and tear others down. That's what you think about, literally. I know how a narcissistic's mind works. You wake up thinking, how can I assert my superiority over somebody today? That's literally what you think about because you're worried that if you don't go around flexing your so-called superiority on people, you're worried that if you can't be superior to somebody, then you're nothing. That's what you think about. And I think that's very, very pathetic. And I'd feel sorry for you if you weren't clearly dangerous.
What else can I do with my awesome technology that I have and that you have? You have the Library of Alexandria at your fingertips and you fucking think you're under attack.
Yeah, but we are under attack. A lot of people are under attack.
Dumb!
Yeah, you're dumb. You're dumb. Oh, you're dumb. Oh, good grief. Against you. I've looked at some of his videos.
You know what? Hey, Brandon, when do these guys talk about different stuff? All you guys talk
about different stuff all the time. Yeah, again, you got 677 videos of mine. There are times where the neighbors are not bothering me and I literally talk about something else. In fact, every single time I come on my update, I say, hello, Empress Justice here. If you'd like to check out my daily readings, you can check them out here, here, and here. That is literally how I start off my videos these days. I'm going to do a reading at this time, this date. Like that, I start my readings talking about something else. What the fuck are you talking about?
About on your channels is gang stalking. When you guys talk about art, poetry, fucking video game.
I talk about that. One of my most popular videos was talking about Euphoria and talking about the treatment of the character of Cassie versus the character of Maddie. It was more about Cassie than Maddie, but yeah, I had a whole video on Euphoria. I had a video talking about House of Gucci. I had a video talking about like so many different things, 677 videos, and all of them are going to be about gang stalking. Are you sure? Again, this guy lies like he breathes. He lies like he breathes. My most popular videos have always been talking about popular culture in some way, almost always about popular culture. Like, I talked about the Libya thing. I talked about, like, I've talked about so many different subject matters that had nothing to do with gang stalking. So once again, this guy is talking out of his arse. Hyperbole, acting like you don't know what we're talking about, and then turning around and acting like we're dumb. I can't with this. This is ridiculous. And he's talking about
music.
Oh, this is exhausting, dude. This is exhausting. Baby, I didn't wake up at 5:30 in the morning to talk about you. I don't do that because I've got better things to do with my time.
You know, maybe something cool that you found on the internet. Education.
I've said that. I've done that. You're literally talking shit. I've done that.
Maybe
When
you
do
found
you talk about something cool other than fucking trying to lead people in with racism so you can talk about technology? Most of the people on your fucking channel are sexually repressed freaks. Sexually repressed, racist, sexist, psychopathic freaks who probably couldn't get a date without coercing somebody. Oh, sorry. That's the type of people you bring to your channel. I bring real motherfuckers to mine.
awesome little, I don't know, whatever. You know, I see a couple TIs expanding out a little bit. Conspiracy Underground's going out for nature walks. That's pretty good. Absent-minded Abe has always kind of went on nature walks, but while he's walking outside on nature walks, he's talking about being gang stalked. So
it's their fucking channel. It's up to them what they want to fucking talk about. You slow fucking degenerate piece of shit. It's up to them what they want to talk about. It's not up to you. It really isn't up to you. You don't own the fucking internet. Get over it, bitch. You don't own the internet. Knock it off. It's their channel. They want to talk about what they want to talk about. You don't own the fucking internet. You don't own the internet. Shut the fuck up. You don't own the internet. You fucking degenerate piece of shit.
Oh, you guys have anything else? Anything at all?
Do you have anything else? You haven't even brought anything else to the table when it comes to discussing me, let alone any other TI. All you ever do is talk about how black people suck in your eyes, or how, you know, this degenerate is doing this. Like, when do you ever talk about anything positive? You need to stick to the technology and the gaming that you're used to, bitch. Don't come over here with us trying to find beef with us, because you know what? We have the recipe and you don't. Videos in which he doesn't mention people's names. So where are you getting this from? So basically, because I've been drawn into a cockfight between a TI who's trying his best to hang on to dear life, and these other two losers who are just determined to discredit TIs, although they're not doing a very good fucking job of it. It's not two, it's one, but yeah. Now I'm caught in the crossfire.
You know, it's hard to I mean, I can discredit them to a point. It's a lot better to do it in voice chat because people will hear you stumbling and mumbling when you're unable to actually fucking answer questions and you're unable to actually bring evidence forth.
I brought evidence in this video alone. I promise you, even if I wanted to do a voice interview with you, you're not ready for a voice interview with me. You're really not ready. I can guarantee you that now for nothing. Based on what you've brought to the table, you're not ready.
That's part of the reason it's different.
The thing is, what you would probably do, you would probably start screaming and yelling and trying to, you know, and come up with really, really weak arguments as to why TIs are not real. And I just wipe the floor with you. I wipe the floor with like mental health professionals, police, real estate agents. I do all that shit as a hobby. You think I can't take you on? Please, you are not ready for me. Stop.
It's difficult to discredit you guys. Not because everybody knows that you're dumb. I mean, that's a given.
Nobody knows that. Nobody knows that. You've just said dumb over and over. That's not the same as people knowing that you're dumb. You're just appealing to people who, again, don't know how to deal with their fucking emotions. People who are in a dark place or who are in a place where they, you know, they need an outlet and they feel like they can't get one in real life. They can't say all the edgy shit that they want to say, so they come onto your channel to feel like a big man. Like, bro, it's pathetic. It's just really pathetic. It really is. And seeing as people are tired of seeing me, I'm going to start blocking people from my channel. And it doesn't guarantee that they're not going to be able to watch it. But then I don't have to hear about their fucking caterwauling about what they don't want to see on my channel. So I'm going to start blocking people. And then you guys can moan amongst yourselves and I don't have to hear you because I don't want to hear any more of this bullshit. The only reason I'm even doing this is because I promised I would.
You guys aren't really willing to be questioned. Most of you guys aren't really willing to be questioned.
I'm not willing to be questioned by you. You're absolutely right. I'm not willing to be questioned by you. Get me a YouTuber who doesn't believe in what I'm saying, but who will actually, do you know what I mean? Who actually has some intelligence and has actually done their homework and has actually, you know, give me somebody like that who disagrees with me, but has actually done their homework and knows that these weapons exist. Let them explain to me how these things exist and cannot exist together at the same time. Let them interview me. I'm not interested in this bullshit. I'm not interested in this. Not interested. No, I'm never going to do a voice interview with you. It's not happening.
And for real. Like, sat down. Sort of like Nixon was with Frost. Remember Frost and Nixon? Frost fucking...
It's called active denial system. Oh my God, they're creating new diagnoses. Active denial system for riot control. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was going to go in the deep end. They microwave weapons in the military, but they aren't using them on all kinds of people. How do you know that, please? Okay. All right. You've got people who are literally showing you their burns and show, I can't with this shit. It's ridiculous.
Rolled Nixon. Made him look like an idiot in one conversation.
But this is where I shine. And if they really want to download every single one of my videos, they can bring that shit on, baby, because I've got my medical records. Did everybody forget? I've got my medical records. I've got proof and evidence of corruption against me. I've got it up to the fucking eyeballs. Bring that shit on. Right.
Really? Really?
Yeah,
you got evidence?
Yeah, you got 677 videos of me. It's going to have evidence on it. This is why I'm not worried about this guy downloading my videos. He can download it and share it. He can share it among himself. Because at some point, some other TRs are going to see that shit. I already have 5 new subscribers because of this fucking nonsense. Probably got a bit more as well. I probably got more subscribers. I'll probably have more subscribers by the end of the day because of this. So yeah, bring that shit on. I ain't got shit to hide. I've got it yeah. I've got my medical records. I've got proof and evidence of corruption against.
So she does a mental health assessment, CBT self-referral over the phone, not even in person, and she records it.
Of course I record it.
And she does it on the phone.
Evidence.
Come on, dude. I like psychology. I like psychiatrists.
Evidence. Evidence. Is it evidence or not?
For the most part. But the thing is they can't be totally honest with you. A lot of them have to be very sensitive with people. So when you say crazy shit, they can't just say, oh, okay, that's, wow, what a nutcase. They can't do that.
No, they've actually said to my face, you're deluded, it's delusional. In fact, hang on, I've got my medical records right now. I can show you exactly what they've said in my medical records. I'll turn it on me while I look for my documents. Let me see. All right. So I asked for my medical records. And... oh! Hold on a second. All right. All right, so I need 2021. All right. So let me just have a look at this. Okay, so this is the 9th of July 2021, 11:23. The surgery is Dr. Peter Rames. Okay. Problem, paranoid schizophrenia. History, previous diagnosis and history noted. Fabienne says she has been to the dentist and concerned because was told erosion of gums on one side. So basically, I went to the dentist. I wish I hadn't deleted it. I went to the dentist and I got an x-ray of both sides of my face. My dentist was worried about one side of my face in particular over another. And that was the same side of my face that was actually being eroded by the electronic weaponry. So that's what I was actually explaining to the doctor. I've got a recorded conversation of that actually online on this page. So I explained all that to him. Now listen to this. Explain that has been attacked on one side of head by electric weapons and needs a CT scan. So basically, I'm the one asking for a CT scan. I'm the one asking for a CT scan in order to prove the paranoid schizophrenia. Because in order to have a mental illness, you have to have some level of damage within the brain or within some part of the organs in order to have that, right? Because your organs affect your emotions. I feel no other symptoms could not shift her from this belief. Happy for a review, but suspect has come off aripiprazole and deterioration of mental health. There was no deterioration. It was just reactive abuse over and over. There's been no deterioration. In fact, the opposite has happened. My mental health overall, in spite of the fact that I've been targeted for God knows how long, there's a continuous upward spiral of my ability to emotionally regulate. It's a combination of age and experience. So there's been a spiraling upward trend in terms of my emotional resilience and how I've been able to emotionally deal with it. But it says right here, I believe she's delusional. Yeah, I believe she's delusional. Yeah, 9th of July. Cranial nerves intact. How do you know my cranial nerves are intact? Do you know what he did? He felt around my gum line and that was it. He didn't do a brain scan. Again, I've got noted evidence. Pearl fundy, okay, no bony tenderness. That's a lie. I feel this is delusional. Yeah, he says right there it's delusional. This is a mess. I'm so sorry. Says it right there. I feel this is delusional. So again, this guy's talking crap. He has no idea what he's talking about. Or rather, he does have an idea of what he's talking about and he's trying to derail everything. Now, let's get back to this fucking nonsense. What more is he saying?
Oh, you talk about...
Hold on.
Heads in freezers? That's, yeah. They can't be deadly honest with you, so will you go and post this
They have been deadly honest with me. They've told me repeatedly that we don't believe this is happening. Oh, this is such a strange belief. They've said that. So what are you talking about?
useless conversation? It's over the phone, too. It's not even a real... Like, you have to do it in person for real.
No, you don't. You've got recorded evidence. You don't have to do anything in person. Evidence is evidence. Why are you splitting hairs?
Mental health evaluations in person.
I've done them in person. Again, you've got 677 videos and you're just cherry picking anything that you can find to make yourself look and your fucking moronic subscribers look good. Like, it's right there. Like, there have been, like, interviews in person with police, with mental health. You're really embarrassing yourself, sir. You're embarrassing yourself.
I've got it up to the fucking eyeballs. Bring that shit on.
They don't hear me, though. They never do. They always think, oh, she's talking shit. Oh, she doesn't know anything. Oh, and what they're banking on is two things. One, my mental health discrediting everything. And two, people not liking me. They always bank on those two things. This is exactly why I make sure I don't lie as much as possible. I will get things wrong, but where possible, I will try not to lie. Because if people don't like me, and if people think I'm mentally ill, and yet almost everything that I say has been right, then what happens to the people who don't like me and who are going out of their way to discredit me? What happens to them? Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't hide anything. I don't even hide anything about the shitty things that I've said and done. I don't even hide that. It's 677 videos of that shit. I don't even hide that. I put that online. So yeah, he's talking shit like, oh, they're not going to say it's delusional. They're not going to say it to your face. Even if they don't say it to your face, they say it on your medical records. And they are obligated to give it to you when you ask for it. Well, actually, yeah, I think they are. You have to write it in person and they've got to give it to you.
Because when these people from America come after me, it's not just going to be me that gets it. It's going to be everybody who's ever harassed me from every neighborhood I've ever been in. Every single person who has been aware of gang stalking, doing this to me without conscience, without regard. It's not just going to be the...
I've probably hallucinated sound effects and high pitched. Oh, God. This is
gang stalkers from America getting hurt. It's going to be gang stalkers from Britain getting hurt.
This is desperate. And was I lying? I literally demonstrated to you exactly how, people with medical degrees are contradicting each other in a bid to try to discredit me. You got a dentist who was drastically concerned about my gums. That was a few years ago. I've had a lot of weapons fired at my jaw since then. So how do you think they're doing? How do you think my jaw's doing now? And then you got this person talking about delusion where there's literal evidence for what I'm saying.
All because a bunch of psychopaths couldn't leave Tony alone. All because a bunch of psychopaths couldn't leave a couple of American TIs alone. You are going to cause global consequences here. When I start...
I used hyperbole, but was I lying? There's shockwaves all over this fucking village, and there's going to be shockwaves in every single neighborhood that I've ever been in. I haven't lied.
What?
Naming names.
Global.
But when them videos...
Yeah, global. Lockheed, remember, there's a prominent member of Lockheed. I'm not going to say their name, but that's probably one of the reasons you're harassing me right now. Of all the people you could harass, you're harassing a UK TI. Please explain how this works, especially when there are UK TIs out there more prominent than me. Way more prominent.
drop. And when these people start analyzing my videos and I get to analyzing, a lot of people are going to be dropped in the shit again.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Accurate.
really? Okay, so let's take a look at one of your videos. Oh, 360p, huh? In 2022, 360p. That's what you've got.
My God, this guy's a moron.
360p.
Who cares? Who cares?
And let's look at what else, the detail of your video here. Hold on. You think you're... How can you analyze with this low resolution shit? That is fucking... I'm at 29,000.
Yeah, that right now they picked the wrong one.
Yeah,
They
they
will
always
fuck
do. They always underestimate
around
me and
and
say,
cause an
"Oh, you know,
inter-
you're not a badass." Like, especially this malignant narcissist piece of shit, because they think, "Oh, as long as I can reactively abuse somebody, and as long as I can back them into a corner, and then call the police on them when I don't get what I want, or rely on constant abuse when I don't get what I want, then I've got them." They're not used to dealing with a bitch like me.
national incident over here.
Yeah.
Cops harassing that mom that ran and grabbed her kids. No, I haven't heard of that yet.
So let them fuck around. Let them download my videos. Let them fucking dissect my videos. I'll come back with a retort so fierce they won't have anything to fucking say.
That's not true, actually. A malignant narcissist will always find something to say, even when it's absolutely nothing.
Pieces of
Just
shit.
take a fucking...
Let them come after me.
Take an interview.
No.
That'd be better.
No. Fuck you. Well, not you, Fabby. Not you.
I think she's going to say something more poignant here at the end.
So Targeted Tony 2.0 is on here on Instagram. But he also has a YouTube channel, Targeted Tony. He is being discredited by Nerve Gorilla. Nerve Gorilla isn't actually discrediting him. He's just smearing him. There are several thousand, there are so many documents out there talking about how real the targeting is. Like, we've got one of the most prominent people of the CIA who became a whistleblower and literally told everybody.
Yeah, so Nerve Gorilla isn't
That it was
Tony, only smearing him.
That's a real slap in the face, just saying that I'm just smearing him. No, I'm not.
Good. I'm glad it's a slap in the face. That's the least you deserve. Somebody should have beat your ass a long time ago. Either you got beaten up too much to the point where you're concussed and you can't think straight, or you ain't been beaten up enough. I don't know which one it is, but you need to get your ass beat. And I'm hoping it's going to be not a TI, not a non-TI. I hope it's going to be one of them people in your own camp, because there are plenty of sadists in your own camp. I just want one of them to get fed the fuck up with you and fuck you up. One.
Not see, smearing would be making shit up about people. I'm not making.
You make shit up. You make shit up about me, and you're making shit up about Tony. You are making shit up about TIs right now. You're saying that none of this exists and that all of this is bullshit when it isn't. I've been scanned for chips, and there have been chips found in my body. Other people have been scanned for chips and had chips found in their body. Some of them have suffered some of the worst burns I've ever seen in my life. And you want to talk about fucking when making this shit up? You are smearing us. You are slandering us. That is literally the textbook definition of slander and smearing. The fuck you mean? You listen.
Shit up about you guys.
You are making shit up.
That it was real. How does some dickhead on YouTube compare to somebody who's an eminent scientist who knows exactly what he's talking about? How do the two compare? William Binney was a former intelligence analyst for the NSA. He's saying targeting is real. He's saying these weapons are being experimented on the public.
Again, word of mouth doesn't matter. It might matter to you guys. You guys might really value the word of mouth of somebody in the CIA. But me, Scientifically minded people, we value evidence.
You're not scientifically minded. You're a narcissist piece of shit. You're not scientifically minded at all. If you were scientifically minded, you would have looked up those same links on Raytheon, Lockheed, BAE Systems that I looked up. You would have looked them up for yourself if you were that scientifically minded. You believe what you want to believe because you want to believe your own hype. There's a big difference between that and what TIs are doing, sir. We are not the same. Stop projecting your shit onto us. Thanks.
Do you understand? I made a video about this today on my channel right here. Let me sort by newest. Right here, just prove it. I kind of went through a little bit and talked about why proof matters and what proof looks like.
You just talk shit about proof. Prove it for 8 minutes. That's all you did. You said nothing. And, you know, we're talking about the government stalking us. And yet Edward Snowden's over there talking about how 1.2 billion Americans, I think, are being 1.2 billion people or 1.2 billion Americans have been stalked by the NSA or the CIA, having all their data collected, simultaneous phone conversations at once. So basically, you know, we're talking about the government targeting us. And yet Edward Snowden's come up on here saying the government are targeting everybody. Again, you're trying to make sure that surveillance, widespread surveillance, dirty cops, electronic weapons, you're trying to separate them all and make sure that people think that you can't amalgamate those things together on a specific group of people when it's absolutely possible, especially with AI technology. It's absolutely possible to do this to multiple people at once. It's absolutely possible. The possibilities are endless when you're dealing with this type of technology. So you posted a video of Edward Snowden backing us up. Oh my God. And then you want to turn around and say that gang stalking is fiction. I'm trying to understand how that would even work. You're a perp. Oh, you're a perp. I don't fucking care because all the tactics that you use are perp tactics.
Proof for your claims. Do you understand?
You don't have any proof
So
for your
how
claims.
do-
You can't even prove that gang stalking isn't real. You can't even prove that we're paranoid schizophrenic. There have been no CAT scans, no brain scans to prove mental illness or where the mental illness is actually coming from. And this is coming from a person who says, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if I had something wrong with me. This is coming from a person who would readily admit there's something wrong with me emotionally, at least, right? But nobody is ascertaining where those illnesses come from. Nobody is running any scans. There is no credibility in those claims that TIs are paranoid schizophrenic. It's just a convenient term used, just like drapetomia was used during slavery to describe people who didn't like being enslaved. Now, I'm sorry to compare TIs to slaves. I'm sorry to do that. I am sorry to do that. But my point is that just because a white supremacist medical system is giving you a diagnosis, it does not make it reality. These people in psychiatry got their degrees out of a cereal box. They don't know shit about fuck. There is no biological evidence for their claims. Their claims are more speculative than ours. I sat in front of a mental health professional who I talked about with this. I said, how do you know I've got this? Where do you get your diagnoses from? And he sat there and admitted to me that it was speculative. The mental health profession and psychiatry is even more speculative than gang stalking is because at least TIs have fucking evidence. They have no evidence. There is a TI, I'm not going to mention his name, but that poor soul literally showed an x-ray of his brain of where the weapons had eroded some parts of his fucking brain. He literally demonstrated evidence of that. Like, what the fuck are you even talking about right now? Like, I feel like you're convincing yourself so hard that you're not a perp attempting to slander TIs that you almost believe it yourself.
How do the likes of Nerve Gorilla and Shut Up Mum bog off
Same person, but continue, Fabi.
compared to William Binney and Dr. Robert Duncan? How do they compare to
That's called appeal to authority fallacy.
either of these people?
What, the same one that you're doing? Robert Duncan literally created the technology, and you're talking about appeal to authority fallacy. Fuck off. Good grief.
How do they compare to every...
Listen, lady, sometimes single individual unknown people can actually solve crimes. They've actually done it before. Sometimes...
That's true, but you're not here to solve crimes. You're here to disprove TIs, and you're not doing a very good job of it. All you're doing is appealing to sociopaths who want to bully people and who want to punch down. That's all you're doing. You're not doing anything genuine for any community. You're just talking shit. That's all you're doing.
What was that? The Zodiac Killer. Recently, there was a video released of some average guy cracking the code. Zodiac Killer. There was a code cracked.
I think I can actually finish this video. Doesn't seem too long.
Recently. Right here. 1 year ago, 2 million views.
Is named Sam Blake.
What is this? Again, stick to the point. Good grief.
There are 2 lines in the third and last.
This is some random guy. This isn't some big head FBI guy or
All
anything.
the symbols in a diagonal direction.
I don't give a fuck. You've got somebody who literally created the technology saying that the technology is out there. This situation is not comparable. And if there is... Oh my God. You literally showed appeal to authority bias talking about psychiatrists diagnosing us when they literally have no physical evidence of the diagnosis that they're actually talking about. So right here is a waste of everyone's time. Like,
Following this, Solve with Cribs. And boom, isn't me on the TV show, which...
They cracked the code, man. And I upvoted this.
I
A
think
random guy. Doesn't matter, lady.
I think that's actually pretty impressive that he did that. That is pretty impressive. I can't lie.
What?
And boom, isn't me on the TV show, which...
They cracked the code, man. And I upvoted this. A random guy. Doesn't matter, lady. Why do you have to be some guy in a suit to be effective or useful or...
Yeah, why don't you ask the psychiatrist that same question? Why do you have to have a white suit and get your fucking degree out of a cereal packet in order to be believed? Psychiatry is believed on far less than what you bring, than even what you bring to the table, let alone what TIs are bringing to the table. Psychiatrists are believed on less than that.
find something out or prove something like this guy did. A lot of average random people can do significant things.
While we're on the subject, it took conjecture to get him there. Sometimes people make a theory, they haven't proved that theory yet. So they go out of their way to prove that theory. That's what I try to do. That's what a lot of TIs try to do. Sometimes we get it wrong, sometimes we get it right. But we try to bring the evidence of what we're going through to people, and especially to authority figures. But because some psychiatrists said, oh, it's delusion, you have appealed to authority bias. Like, again, you accuse every single person of doing what you do, and it's all groundless. All of it.
You understand? Like, you just have a hatred of people or something, or a mistrust.
No, I have a hatred of racist, malignant, narcissist, psychopaths who are sexist and who punch down and who are unintelligent and who inflate themselves in order to bring others down. I have an active hatred and distrust of people like that. Real talk.
Of people. Not me necessarily. I understand that there's a lot of liars out there, but I also understand that regular people can do amazing things.
Yeah, but everybody knows that. What are you talking about?
You know, I could be an average guy and I could teach people stuff that nobody else ever taught them before.
This is him trying to be poignant now. This is him trying to be poignant now. You see, you can just hear the fucking synthetic stink coming off of that. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Reeks.
What's with you people?
Snowden, who's been talking about...
Oh, that Edward Snowden thing, I brought that up too. I like Edward Snowden. He actually brought evidence, and I talked about that.
Yeah, but we brought evidence. The police saw that evidence right in front of them, and they did nothing with it. You're here to discredit TIs. You're here to smear and slander TIs. Fuck off with that. I don't care who you like.
In that last video
your
I made.
Judgment is absolute shit in the first place. I don't trust your judgment.
Up being on an unlawful surveillance list. How did these two dickheads in a pissing match with somebody who's exposing their shit without even mentioning their names, by the way? How does that compare? How do these experts compare with these two twats trying to throw dirt on Tony's name because of the amount of crimes that they've probably been involved in? And yes, I believe Tony. Yes, I believe him. I've heard about worse shit that Perps has done from a lot of TRs. I've heard about worse shit. This evil that these people are capable of has no limits. But guess what? The wrong one. They fuck with the wrong
Oh, God.
one.
Stop
Right.
acting like you're tough.
And when they do fuck with the wrong one, and when people over here in the UK end up getting exposed, and when the connection between Lockheed UK and Lockheed US is more established through the stories that I have to tell.
What do you know about Lockheed Martin, lady?
Well, basically, I'm a relative of somebody who, works for one of Lockheed Martin's subsidiaries. And then on top of that, there's a specific Lockheed employee that's attached to another TI in the US. And I'm not going to say too much about that. So this is exactly what I'm saying by talking about how I can link US and UK together, because there have been trafficking victims of not high-ranking employees in Lockheed necessarily, but high-ranking employees in government, civil service. You wouldn't believe the amount of criminals that are running around in the upper echelons of defense systems and fucking, banking, defense systems, government. I know of another perp who is high level. He's a handler and he's a taxman. So yeah, I'm trying to bring the targeting of the US and the targeting of the UK together. And apparently some of our government have actually been selling information on some UK citizens to the US, incidentally. So there's that as well. So basically, I'm trying to use my experiences and the fact that American perps are coming after me. I'm kind of using that, trying to get whatever information I can. And I'm trying to establish a link between the research that I've been doing and the experiences that I've had with everything that is, with everything coming together. And it is because this guy has basically attacked me out of nowhere. I haven't spoken to him. I don't know who he is. And yet he's attacked me out of nowhere. That's why I'm saying call the police, because I really want to see how my police forces over here and my mental health officials over here will try to reason that a foreign person harassing and intimidating me or trying to intimidate me is somehow a delusion. I want to see them try to reason their way out of that one. And yeah, military money, folks, it goes a long way. And not from the government, but from defense systems. That military money goes a long way.
I know more about Lockheed Martin than you do.
Okay, that's all right.
Who's gonna catch heat? Let them fuck with me. Let them download their little videos. Let's go.
Oh, anyway, all right, so this is that guy I talked about yesterday, Chris McCandless. This is his journey, his path. He ended up dying up here in Alaska. That was the bus that they found him in, right? But this is his path, right? How do they know this is his path?
Oh shit, hang on. Wait a minute.
Yes. Again, word of mouth doesn't matter. It might matter to you guys.
Worship.
Hypothetically, if I'm,
This is the thing about word of mouth, though. If I'm lying, then that's going to be proven. If I'm telling the truth, then that's going to be proven. I talk. I don't give a fuck. I talk. Because either way, somebody somewhere is going to prove me right or wrong. I make conjectures quite a bit. I understand. But there are times where I've made conjectures and I haven't been wrong. I've been right. And then there are times where I've made conjectures and been wrong as well. So whatever I say, there's going to be evidence that backs that up at some point. Now, I know it's lazy, and it is, but I talk. I don't give a fuck. I talk. And then I let the circumstances around me prove whether it's true or not. That's what I do. And I do my research on top of that. I can't lie. I mean, you saw the tarot and you saw my medical records. I do research. I do read. So I do that too. But there's a method to everything that I do, even if it's a little bit unorthodox.
Trying to find out the path of some guy who died. And I'm trying to put the pieces together to figure out the story about where he was, how he got to where he was, et cetera, right? Kind of like solving something, right? Let's say a guy way over here on the other side of the earth in Iraq comes forward and said, yeah, around that time before he died, I gave the guy a ride. He came up to Iraq for a little while, and he was hitchhiking in Iraq. Well, that's a pretty fucking big claim, considering that there's no other evidence that
I'm so sorry. It is hotter than a motherfucker over here. Oh my Lord. There's a heat wave over here. It is really, really hot. I just need a second. Fuck me. Oh my God. All right. Let's continue. Sorry.
he left, North America. There's no evidence that he left North America during his trip here, where he ended up in Alaska. So if you come out and say that he was in Iraq at a certain date, you're going to have to provide evidence of that. Do you guys get it? But you guys are even worse than this. You guys are saying even shit like this guy was on Mars, and you have no
we're not.
evidence of what you're saying. That's
No, we're not.
how bad it is. You can't
No, it isn't.
just make shit up. And that's what you guys are
No, we don't.
doing. You guys don't know what evidence means. You guys
Yes, we do.
are terrible jury members.
I've never been a jury member in my life. What are you talking about? Next.
Guys would probably convict an innocent person.
No, we wouldn't.
You guys don't know how to distinguish fact from fiction.
Yes, we do.
You guys, it's so frustrating.
Yes, it is. Knock it off. Then you won't be frustrated anymore.
You guys think that because some CIA member mentioned something that it's automatically fucking true.
You thought that just because a psychiatry mentioned something that it was automatically fucking true.
Don't you understand the folly of human conceit?
We understand that better than you do. You're the literal embodiment of human conceit.
The way how easy it is to fool us?
Yeah, you're fooling people every day with your narcissistic bullshit antics. People could look up something online in 30 seconds and instead they rather listen to you go on like a fucking baboon.
To trick humans into believing stupid shit?
Who will we tricking? Who will we tricking? I've got 439 subscribers. You've got 6.9k subscribers. Full of people ready to believe any and every fucking negative thing about somebody who's black or brown or a TI. I don't have that big an audience in comparison to you. What are you even talking about, sir?
Yeah. So, I don't know, man. Like, these guys, you stop making videos and have a conversation.
No.
Let me ask you real-time questions.
No.
Deacon, whatever your name is.
No. And if you can't get my name right, it's a definite no. Go fuck yourself with an iron rod sideways until blood seeps out of your lower intestine.
Fabian, I don't know what the fuck.
If you don't know what the fuck, you're not getting an interview.
I'm about to go on a walk here with my girlfriend though, but
Yeah, I hope you don't fuck her with all that hatred in your fucking dick energy, infecting her fucking womb with it. And if you have a girlfriend like that, oh my god, either she's got to be worse than you are, or you could worse her into that shit. I feel sorry for her already.
if anybody knows this lady, could you throw maybe a comment, say take an interview with Nerve Gorilla?
No, you do that, you come on my page, you will be blocked.
His name has been Nerve on the internet. Some of my names have been Nerve Gorilla. Some of my names in World of Warcraft have been Painbow, Robot Man, All My Friends, Caterwall. Like, I've had all sorts of different names. I don't have just one name.
I know you don't have just one name. That's not how the internet works. The internet doesn't normally work like that. I work like that because I'm kind of lazy. But I know that people don't work like that, especially people who have been on the internet for a long time and know what they're doing. I'm not an internet veteran. Even though I've been on the internet for a long time, I'm not an internet veteran because it's not my primary interest.
I'm not the kind of guy to put my real name on the internet. So
yeah, I put my real name on the internet because I want people to know what's happening to me. That's why I do it. I show my face for a reason. I have my real name out there for a reason. Because if people know what I'm doing, then I know what they're doing. And it hasn't failed me so far. Because it's brought people like you thinking that I'm a sitting duck when the opposite is the case.
I don't know why you guys are so attached to weird shit.
I love weird shit. And not even about TIs, like just I like anything taboo or anything like weird in general. I like to explore that because I like another side of life that most people don't like. You know, there are people out there like that who like weird shit. And
It doesn't matter.
what doesn't matter?
Put my real name on the internet. So I don't know why you guys are so attached to weird shit. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but why does anybody get attached to anything? I like being attached to weird shit.
But yeah, I could go into this deeper. I mean, I could really bust out some real fucking significant shit.
Yeah,
but you know, it's
do
like
it.
I gotta teach these guys.
Yeah, but if you're gonna bust down and do some real significant shit, do it. Do it. I don't give a fuck. My name is out there. My face is out there. My titties are out there. Go for broke. Seriously, go for broke.
From the ground
Go
up.
for broke. Give me some more subscribers, please, because they're gonna come over here asking what the real deal is. Please bring them over. The more the merrier. Please bring them over.
How we've been fooled in the past with stupid shit. And they don't have that context, I don't think. These guys, these TI.
Oh, God. It's exhausting listening to this. He really thinks he's a genius. I'm trying to understand, man.
Guys just don't have the context of how easy it is to fool people. When you want
It is easy to fool people when you really want to believe it. Your subscriber list is for the amount of subscribers you have is literally full of that. Literally full of people who want to believe you. So I have no doubt you know about bias.
something, you have to be even more careful. Do you understand? You guys aren't being careful at all. You guys are not evaluating yourselves. You guys are...
No, I evaluate myself every fucking day more than most people do. So you're wrong again. You're just, again, it's conjecture. And your conjecture in this case is wrong. Like it's been wrong almost throughout this entire video.
being self-critical. You guys
That's not true.
aren't even being critical to each other, really.
That's not true at all. The amount of fights that TIs have over one another's behavior, you wouldn't believe it. So he's talking shit. He's talking absolute shit.
Like kind of lately. You can't just put shit out there. Look at this. It's nothing but flapjacks. This is all she fucking has are flapjacks.
No. That's not true at all. That's not true. None of that is true. He's lying. He's making shit up. He's a complete liar. He's a liar and a bully and a piece of shit.
It's hot air, dude.
No, you're hot air. Fuck you. You're hot air. Like, there's literally evidence of harassment right there. Like, he's literally scrolling down, giving you evidence right there of conversations that have taken place, of harassment that's taken place. He's literally scrolling down lots and lots of evidence. Good grief. This man is absolutely, he's got a screw loose.
Hot fucking air with this lady.
No, hot fucking air with you, and you're not even a man. You're a melted candle. You're a fucking Pan's Labyrinth character, and you're not even one of the good ones. You're one of the ones in the background that are fucking unimaginatively drawn as a fucking last thought. You're a fucking freak. You're a freak, and it's not even because of the way you look or anything like that. It's because of your entire being. It's because of your entire being. You're a fucking freak. You're an absolute freak. And you're not even one of the interesting ones. You're not even interesting enough to make me sick. Flapjacks, like you're not even interesting enough to make me ill. That's how fucking bland and nondescript and predictable and petty and gross and disgusting and all the rest of it. You're not even interesting enough to repulse me, really. You're not even interesting. That's the worst part. It'd be one thing if you came after me and you were vicious and you were horrible and you were nasty and you were doing all these things. But the worst part about all of this is that you're such a fucking bore. And everybody else around you that talks to you, they're bores too. They're fucking boring as shit. You are boring. Good grief.
Oh, God, it's fucking frustrating. All right, I'm out of here.
Of course it's frustrating because you're looking at videos of evidence right there and you're trying to prove to people that there's no evidence. The amount of people that have come onto my page and said you're full of it. Now, again, I don't know if they're TIs or not. They could be just some of your minions sent to try to get some field work on me. But you know what? Like, even if there are people who disagree with everything that I'm saying, your behavior just speaks for itself. The only reason I haven't heard from you is because I've blocked most of your channels now. Although something tells me you'll find a way to try to harass me again. And you will. Your type always do. Because a narcissist never quits. But that's about it from me. I'm not going to respond to any more of his videos, and I'll tell you why. Let me look at the history. Now, I didn't actually look at this video. So I'll tell you why. I'll tell you exactly the kind of piece of shit that we're dealing with here. So look at the title of this alone. Look at the title of this alone. You better wear hoop earrings so you have a place to put your ankles. That's all that needs to be said. I'm not responding to this person. I've got another person that I'm about to block in a minute. So yeah, I'm done with this. So this is Aunt Jemima, billionaire entrepreneur Aunt Jemima and her flapjacks, signing off. I love you, my fellow TIs. Peace and blessings. I love you so much, my fellow TIs. Mwah. Bye-bye.